Hi guys, welcome to Pointy Not Sharp. Today we're taking a look at a bayonet I've wanted to check out for a very long time. So this is a Luxembourg FN49 bayonet, and I've previously done a video on the FN49, but that was a Belgian one, so this one is a little bit different. If you want to know like the full history of the bayonet, then check out my previous video. This one I'm only going to touch on what makes this different to the other variations. So the Luxembourg FN49 bayonet was made to fit the 30-06 FN49 self-loading rifle in Luxembourg service. And the bayonets were made by Fabrique Nationale in Belgium, and 6,303 of them were made. So 6,203 for the Luxembourg Army and 100 for the Gendarmerie. And I believe they were all marked the same. And these were manufactured from 1951 all the way through until 1952, so not for a terribly long time. Now, I'm going to skip over the history of this bayonet. This is probably going to be quite a short little video. To be terribly honest, I don't know much about Luxembourg. I had a brief look online. I couldn't find too much information as to what they were using prior to the FN49. I'm assuming they were still using Belgian weapons, so possibly, I don't know, the FN24s. I really don't know. I don't know how long they were in service for, and I don't know what they replaced, and I don't know what replaced them in service either. I've had a look online, and even just finding photographs of these things in service, it's not terribly easy. There's not a whole lot of information out there on Luxembourg, which is a bit of a shame. Now, what is known about FN bayonets in general is, particularly here in Australia, when these were surplused, they were brought into the country. They were just brought into the country, both the rifles and bayonets, in piles of parts, disassembled. So the rifles are disassembled, and when they're reassembled and sold, you have mismatched rifles made from, Egyptian, Belgian, everything. You'll have one rifle with like 6 or 7 different rifles worth of parts in it, and that's just standard. And sadly, that's what we have here as well. So we have a Luxembourg bayonet with an Egyptian scabbard. So sadly, it is quite common to see with this bayonet to have mismatching scabbards, particularly here in Australia. I don't know how it was overseas, if it's an issue that just we face or if it's international as well. But that aside, I'll jump into the construction, which I've previously covered. So it's got that Belgian model 1916 style of blade, where it's tapered out to either side, got double-sided blade, and these are really, really sharp. Like I previously stated, this is probably one of my favourite types of bayonets. Funnily enough, the FN49 is probably my favourite rifle to shoot as well. I've shot it in 30-06 and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's 2 or 3 things about this bayonet I find a little bit odd. So moving down to our crossguard, just a standard crossguard with a nice little muzzle ring, nothing exciting there. Then we move down to our wooden handle. That's where things get a little bit different. So it has a Mauser style of attachment device, or mortise and press button and all of that, and even accommodates a, you'll see here in the mortise we have a TO style of mortise. That semicircle at the bottom is to accommodate a cleaning rod on the base of the rifle, and we have a recess running down the length of the handle for the cleaning rod on the rifle. Usually when you have that kind of thing on this style of bayonet, you have a clearance hole, and the purpose of that clearance hole would be to clear out debris that's pushed into the handle by the cleaning rod. As you can see, the FN49 does not have that clearance hole, so I don't know if that was an oversight or what happened there, but that's what they've done. That's pretty much what I find odd about this bayonet. But moving down to the wooden grips, retained by 2 screws. Good luck getting those out. Those are just domed. Then on this side, you need a special tool to remove that. We have a very Belgian Mauser style of pommel with a standard press button, ramped lug as always, and our mortise TO as just described. Then moving down to our scabbard, just a very Mauser style of scabbard with a very German style of frog stud. As I said, this one is not matching. What I do find a little bit odd about the scabbard is you'll see we have a little bit of a recess up here. I wouldn't call it odd so much as convenient, but when the bayonet is placed into the scabbard, you can place the bayonet onto the rifle, and the scabbard won't get in the way of your muzzle device. So it's nice and flush through there. As you can see, the throat is retained by a single screw, and then down the bottom we have a little ball finale and no drainage hole, which is again a bit of an oversight. So that's the construction of the bayonet. I really enjoy it. Like, video doesn't do it justice. This thing feels amazing, and it's one of my favorites to handle. As soon as I get my get an opportunity to get my hands on a Luxembourg one, I will. This one's not mine, but I'll jump into the markings. So we have our serial number down here on the right pommel, and you'll see it starts with an abbreviation of AL, or Alpha Lima, and that is for the Army of Luxembourg. I don't know if their gendarmerie have a different abbreviation. They only had 100 rifles, and I'm pretty certain they would have received bayonets, but I don't know. I can't find any record or any photos or anything at all. So if you know, comment below and enlighten the rest of us, because it's a bit of a mystery to me. Then on the reverse, we have SA30, and that's for semi-automatic rifle 30 caliber. So that's pretty much all of the markings on the bayonet itself. Then we only have the markings left on the scabbard. So first off, we have the serial number repeated on the throat of the scabbard here. As you can see, that is in Arabic, so this is an Egyptian scabbard and not matching. And then you'll also have like a little proof mark or inspection mark or something on the face of the frog stud, and this one has well and truly worn off and is no longer there. Now, I had a bit of a deep dive online trying to find photographs of these being used with Luxembourg soldiers, particularly in Korea, because they did see service in Korea. Couldn't find any photos depicting the bayonet. Couldn't find any photos of the web gear or the frog they would have to attach this to the belt. But having a look at the photos, it looks like they were using like canvas style of gear. So I assume some kind of canvas frog, or maybe even the old leather frogs they still had in service from prior to that. I really don't know. Anyway, guys, sorry there's not a terrible lot of information, but I got the opportunity to check out one of these, and I had to quickly chuck it on the table and do a quick video, because who knows if I'll get an opportunity to see another. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching.